Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's had an opportunity to exercise their bodies, exercise their minds, and learn something new. Today I'm talking a little bit calmer because our discussion is going to be on meditation, its health benefits, and the science behind it. Through talking to people both in the scientific community and otherwise over the last few years, I've realized there's just so many different definitions of meditation. And I think one of the key reasons that it remains a mystery is because it doesn't have a standard definition. During my research, I came across one definition that I feel encompasses all the important points of meditation. Meditation is a family of self-regulation practices that focus on training attention and awareness in order to bring mental processes under greater voluntary control and thereby foster general well-being and development and/or specific capacities such as calm, clarity, and concentration. Another thing that makes defining meditation difficult is that there are so many different types of meditation. There's a general mindfulness meditation, there's transcendental meditation, as well as a host of other different types of meditations that you'll find. A common misconception about meditation is that it's the absence of thought, that you must be able to completely make your mind blank in order to be properly meditating. Now, while that's not completely untrue, it would be similar to saying that playing basketball is dunking from the foul line. And while we know dunking from the foul line is a part of basketball, there are very, very few individuals that can do that part of basketball. Similarly, in meditation, while anyone can meditate, there may be very few individuals that can completely block everything from their mind and just have a state of nothingness in their head. And we know this is not the sole definition of meditation because some meditations are mantra meditations, which by definition is repeating a phrase over and over again to help focus your mind. Some meditations involve counting numbers up to a certain point and then repeating, as in saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While there are many well-researched benefits of meditation, today we're going to focus on 5 of the most studied benefits of meditation. This includes slowing the aging process, reducing anxiety and depression, reducing the risk for addiction and smoking, helping with chronic pain, and helping with problems with attention span. Think of any function of the body or mind. All of those functions require a set of cells to carry out that function. These cells are instructed by a material called DNA and RNA. And all of this DNA is wrapped up tightly into what we call chromosomes. But before I lose you with all this scientific gibberish, the point I'm trying to make is that at the end of all these chromosomes, we have things called telomeres. Telomeres tend to act as the protective coating on the end of that string of DNA, similar to the way your shoelaces will have a plastic coating at the end to protect them from getting shredded up. And just like when your shoelaces become frayed, they're much more difficult to use and get through the proper holes that they're supposed to go through, DNA also becomes more difficult to use if its ends are damaged. Now, naturally over time, even the plastic end of that shoelace will eventually wear down and become frayed. Just like over time, telomeres will become shorter and be less effective at protecting that DNA. So where does meditation play into all of this? The general thought that meditation may play a role in slowing the aging process is behind the theory that meditation helps slow down the degradation of those telomeres, therefore keeping that protective cap on the DNA around for a longer time. Now, what does the science say about this? After digging through the strongest evidence on meditation and telomere length and meditation and aging, this is what I found. We found that long, consistent meditation practices do actually help prevent the shortening of telomeres. Now, on the flip side, the one common problem we have when interpreting data from studies is that the direction that the data points us to doesn't always mean that the end result will be what we think it is. In the largest and strongest studies on meditation and aging, we can't conclusively say that meditation alone is leading to longer lives. In the populations that we see that are meditating and also have long, healthy lives, these populations may walk long distances to and from work. These populations may be very community-oriented, have strong faith systems, eat diets that are high in unsaturated fats. And because we know all of these things lead to longer, healthier lives, it's hard to say that the meditation is the one thing that are leading those populations to live longer. But in the meantime, we do know that meditation helps us protect our telomere length And further research will find out if that really helps us with aging. The next big potential health benefit of meditation is its reduction in anxiety and depression. This is probably the most common medical reason we see people participate in meditation for. So what does the science say about meditation reducing the risks of anxiety and depression? Based on the data, we see that those with the highest initial anxiety level show the most benefit from meditation. This includes war veterans with PTSD, prison inmates, people with lifelong chronic anxiety, and those that suffer from other traumas. In these populations, the effects were so strong that they saw results in the first 2 weeks. And for the majority of these patients, they still saw benefits 3 years down the line. Now for the flip side of this, it's important to realize that these patients were still going through their normal treatment for depression and anxiety, whether that be medications, cognitive behavioral therapy, or both. Another thing to keep in mind is that the majority of these studies looked at symptoms of anxiety. So whether or not these patients were clinically diagnosed with anxiety wasn't taken into account. And the reason that's important is because we can't say that meditation is a possible cure for anxiety or depression. We just know that it reduces some of those symptoms. Moving on to the next potential health benefit of meditation, helping with pain relief. This one seems to be a slam dunk. Every single major meta-analysis I looked up supported the fact that meditation helps aid in pain relief to some degree. But again, it's important to note that meditation was not effective in replacing traditional medications for pain relief, but it did have a substantial benefit when combined with traditional pain relief regimens. Also, for those shorter courses of meditation, those less than 8 weeks, it was more difficult to see a statistically significant difference. A quick side lesson on pain. Many cells in our body have little pockets that can catch chemicals called opioids. A lot of the opioids we hear about on the news are medications that are artificially made. However, the body makes its own set of opioids that help reduce pain. And what we do know about the pain relief of meditation is that it doesn't work on those little opioid pockets on the cells. And while this may not mean much to the average person, it gives physicians an extra avenue to help fight pain. The next potential health benefit of meditation that we're going to talk about is helping with the attention span. Now remember when we talked about telomeres and aging, we said that what happens in the cell doesn't necessarily affect the body how we think it's going to. But in the case of attention span, it does just that. We see that about after 5 or 6 days of meditation, students are able to see an increase in their attention span. While at the same time, if we look at the brain of these same students, we can see the cells in the brain working together even better after these 5 or 6 days of meditation. The positive benefits we see from meditation and attention span last for just about as long as people are consistent with their meditation. We see this effect in patients all the way up to 65 years old, which makes us think maybe it has an effect on slowing down dementia as well. Before we get into this last potential health benefit of meditation, let's go through a quick meditation ourselves. Wherever you're sitting or laying down right now, just go ahead and follow along with me. With your eyes open, take some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're focusing on something with your eyes open, with this next breath in through your nose, go ahead and close your eyes and breathe out through your mouth. With the next breath in through your nose, follow the air as it goes down into your chest, and follow the air as it goes back out as you breathe it out of your mouth. Pay attention to the temperature of the air on the next breath as it warms up and goes down into your chest, and follow it again back out into your mouth. And do this again for a few more breaths. Pay attention to any thoughts that are coming into your mind. Let them come and then let them go. Don't be mad at yourself for having a busy mind. We all have busy minds. We have busy days, busy jobs. Be aware of what's coming into your mind and let it peacefully pass. Pay attention to any part of your body that's contacting a bed, a chair, the ground. See how it feels when your body is in contact with something else. On your next breath in, breathe into that area of contact, and then calmly breathe that out. Take one more deep breath in through your nose, and on your next breath out, go ahead and open your eyes. Notice how your body feels after that. Notice how your thoughts feel. And let's get into the final potential health benefit of meditation before we wrap up with some final thoughts. The last potential health benefit is treatment for addiction and tobacco use. Now, many small studies and one-on-one interviews with people show that meditation has been very helpful. However, when we look at the largest, strongest data, it doesn't hold up. While participants in these large studies still reported feeling like they were doing better with their addiction and their tobacco use, the actual data showed that there was no statistical significance. Because there are so many small studies and individual success stories, we can't completely rule out meditation for addiction treatment and tobacco use. However, we have to use our words carefully and make sure not to say it's backed by strong evidence. Now that we know all of these positive health benefits of meditation, where do we get started? Below in the comments section, I'm going to leave a few of my favorite meditation apps, which includes Calm, which happens to be sponsored by LeBron James, the Headspace app, which has been doing a lot of discount rates in the light of the COVID situation, and a few of my favorite YouTube meditations. I think meditation is a very important part of wellness that we all should be trying to practice, but like any other good habit, it's going to take time to get better at it, it's going to take time to get consistent with it, and we can't get down on ourselves. I challenge everyone to get through one of the free meditations on Headspace before next week, and report back and let us know how you feel. Thanks for watching my video, subscribe and comment below.